Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here aboard Windstar's brand new Star Breeze, which was just lengthened, stretched, renovated totally, and a big part of it is the culinary and dining experiences you're going to get on board. And so I'm here with Peter Tobler, who's the Director of Food and Beverage for Windstar Cruises. We're going to talk to him about all the changes that were made, and there's some amazing things you're going to find on this vessel that will really wow your clients. And you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Peter, first of all, this is the second time, I think 2 years ago, you and I were aboard the Star Legend before all the stretch took places, and we talked about the cuisine. I got to tell you, if you want to have a great meal, you got to dine with Peter, because he will tell all the best places you should eat, and also the best wines. So that's always fun. But here we are aboard this ship, and when you first started working on the Star class, with the Star Plus improvements, it's a $250 million renovation plan for your three, Star class ships, were the motorized ships. How did you come up with the culinary concepts that ended up on this ship? Because you have two new restaurants and a lot of other stuff going on. But tell us a little bit about how you decided on the two things you do have, which is a sort of a tapas restaurant and, of course, the barbecue.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey, to be quite honest. And obviously, I hate the term tapas restaurant as such.
Oh, I'm sorry. What would you call it?
I call it an eclectic, vibrant, authentic, modern Spanish restaurant.
Okay, I am in error. It is an eclectic, modern Spanish restaurant, and it's actually called Cuadro 44 by Anthony Sasso, who is a famed chef, right?
That's right. Anthony has been an inspiration to us for quite a while. We hosted him back in 2018 on the Windstar while we were cruising the Iberian Peninsula. Sure. And obviously as a part of the James Beard Foundation partnership. And that kind of inspired me or us to do something with Spanish cuisine. Spanish cuisine today is at a complete different level than it was.
And I know you go into New York City, as you know, you can find a lot of great Spanish cuisine. And I don't know, I can't swear to it, but you have one of the few, if only, Spanish cuisine on board a cruise ship, as far as I know.
That is correct. And obviously the inspiration there was Ferran Adrià, Jose Andres, the Roca brothers in Spain, and so on. So what the meaning behind this is to depart from that tapas restaurant. While tapas is still an important part of the dining experience, we wanted it to be a little more modern, adding some authentic, domestic Iberian flavors to it, and twists, obviously. And that finally came to fruition.
Yeah. So how did you convince Anthony to work with you on this one?
That was an easy catch. Anthony was very impressed with the overall look and feel and ambient of Windstar Cruises as a whole. So I reached out to Anthony. I visited him at Casa Mono in Manhattan in New York. And we started chatting, and I kind of quite bluntly reached out to him and said, what about if we're going to be partnering in the future and set up this dining experience?
So he's all for it, right?
He is all excited about it. As a matter of fact, we just recently had him on board going through the entire training process.
Now, of course, and that is one of the two specialty restaurants. Well, there's a third, Candles, which has been aboard for a while, which is what happens to Veranda, which is we'll talk about that in a second, but is your nighttime dining experience. Now, talk about the other specialty restaurant, which is the Star Grill by Stephen Raichlen.
Yeah. The way we kind of came across with Stephen Raichlen has been prominent at the Broadmoor Hotel, which is under the same ownership as Windstar Cruises, and hosting his barbecue university.
And he's got TV programs and all kinds of things, right?
He got TV programs in the United States, in Canada, as well as in Italy. So
he came on board, and it's in it because once again, I can't think of another cruise ship at any level that has this kind of barbecue on.
Obviously, the idea there was to be outdoors and to depart from that standard backyard barbecue that we're all used to. Right. And obviously, one of the visions at the time was to continue to reflect on destinations. So Stephen immediately was on the same page because his barbecue university or Project Smoke is not just all about North American traditional barbecuing. It takes us beyond borders, so it became global. So our entire Star Grill setup is actually a global cuisine, but converted to smoke, rotisserie, and grilling.
And you do all the smoking of the meats on board, right?
Everything is done on board from scratch. So we then had to finalize the recipe. So we've gone through a number of testing cycles, as such, if you want to call it that way, or sessions might be a better term. And we started to identify the different flavor profiles and nuances and adjusting recipes, including the wood chips that are required in order to add that panache to all the meat. So we ended up with hickory wood chips, alder, oak, and cherry. So those were the ones which we eventually finalized and thought would be the best mix. And that, again, changes from, cut to cut.
And also meat to meat. And boy, you can go up there. It's up. First of all, it's open for dinner and lunch, and I've been up there 2 times yesterday. I went twice in one day because there were different things. I mean, we had brisket one, then we had another beef, and then we had wings. I mean, every day there's at least 2 or 3 pork loin, I think. So you accompanies with salads and salsas and all kinds of things. So you can go up there multiple times and not find the same cut of meat.
That is correct. I mean, yesterday that coffee crusted prime brisket with chipotle molasses barbecue sauce. I mean, that was.
I make that at home. I don't know why.
I know you do, but the comments we've received from all the people that literally enjoyed that piece of meat. That was
super. I got to tell you, I did go back for seconds on that one. I got to tell you, but that was so you can find all these different cuts. Incredible barbecue up there. Not the kind of barbecue out in the backyard. That's for sure.
That is exactly what we wanted to achieve with the Star Grill.
Now let's talk a little bit about, because in addition to those 2 new restaurants, one is on deck 8, the top deck out in the Orndar. The other is on deck 6, I believe, right? Am I right?
Deck 7.
Deck 7. I'm getting confused. They're smaller restaurants, but I tell you, the Steve Raichlen is sort of more spread out, and you're outside, so it's great. Let's talk a little bit about the renovations to the existing culinary venues that you have. Amphora, which is your main dining restaurant, which I've always thought is superb, but you've made a few changes down there, right?
We did make a few changes. We obviously slightly enlarged the space as such. It's a little more formal, but still elegant and casual. That's the kind of
I remember you and I had a wonderful dinner on Star Legend way out in Asia, and I thought it was an amazing meal. Of course, I said, well, I'm also with Peter, so maybe he's getting the good cuts, but I think your service was great.
Yeah, and obviously we continued to our partnership with the James Beard Foundation there. So every single night, looking at the dining experience as a whole, you have at least 2 or 3 James Beard dishes.
Yeah, I've tried one. We only have had a one so far once on this cruise, and then you put in a new wine wall, I think, in the back. It's very beautiful.
We have a wine display now. As a matter of fact, we have 2 down there at this point in time, being able to accommodate 1,300 bottles on display.
Yeah, I know. The wine selection is excellent on board. Now, the other thing is you have your veranda restaurant, which we used to call the buffet restaurant. We can't call that anymore. And what changes did you make there?
We upgraded, re-innovated the candles menu. So there again,
that's the dining at night. It's called candles, right?
That's right. That's right. I mean, the veranda kind of serves as the breakfast and lunch hotspot during daytime, and then at night we convert it into the steakhouse. But there again, we actually partnered with Lind's Heritage out of Chicago, so we have their prime cuts now featured on our candles menu.
It's tough to choose between the barbecue and the fine cuts there. That's for sure.
There is Candles, the steakhouse, there is the Star Grill, Cuadro 44, and the main restaurant.
Yeah, no, and of course at Veranda and also Candles, you have the choice of dining outside as well. You can be inside or outside. You've actually expanded the inside as well, just in case you have bad weather or something, right?
That's right. We added a couple of annexes to it and sort of private dining areas as a whole.
And if you were really still hungry, you come where we are here, which is the yacht club, and they have a nice display of sandwiches and breakfast stuff and all kind of fruits and vegetables. And it's if you really are sort of, oh my God, I haven't eaten so far, then now you come by here and you get it again, right?
Yeah, continental breakfast and then a grab and go type of venue from 11 o'clock onwards all the way through until close, as a matter of fact.
So you will never go hungry on this ship, I tell you. And there are 2 more to come, right? Because all these changes are going to be done when you stretch, as we say, the next 2, Star Legend and Star Pride, right?
That's going to be a copy over, yes.
Now, is there anything you think that you're going to learn and maybe they'll be a little different by the end or not?
Oh, I have no doubt that there will be. It's an evolutionary process to begin with. So I have no doubt that we're going to adapt and adjust as deemed appropriate, and then obviously make the same adjustments to this ship.
Well, so far, and we're only on the very first cruise, it's been excellent. The cuisine, the different dining with the Steve Raichlen Star Grill and with the Cuadro 44. Actually, I forgot to ask you, how did you come up with Cuadro 44?
That's a good question. The inspiration there was that a lot of restaurants nowadays throughout the world literally are named after the address. So
I think it was 11 Madison, which is one.
11 Madison Park in New York obviously was the inspiration for that. So I mentioned that during one of the meetings, and then immediately somebody said, okay, the restaurant location on the ship is actually in frame 44
of the ship, right?
Of the ship. And then we were Googling the word frame, how that sounds in Spanish, and what popped up was Cuadro. So we named it Cuadro 44 by Anthony Sasso.
There you go. That's how you get a restaurant name. The other one, Star Grill by Steve Raichlen. That kind of rolls off the tongue, but that was interesting. It sounds very exotic, though, Cuadro 44. Well, I guess we should say 44 in Spanish, but my Spanish is horrible. So.
Yeah, so is mine.
Now, anything else you want to tell us about what's the F&B and the dining experience on board this ship after after this renovation?
Obviously, we continue to. It's, as I said, it's an evolving process. So we'll never rest. We'll continue to work on new concepts, expand menus, adjust as appropriate. And obviously, one feature which I think we're pretty well known for is our local, regional, domestic type of cuisine, which is a part of every journey.
Well, in close, that's what you go cruising for, is to experience the world around you and the islands and the places. We're actually right now docked in St. Martin, and we'll be soon moving around a little bit more. Now, for our travel advisor audience out there, what would you tell them to tell their clients, just in a few words, about what they should expect from the dining here?
Best food afloat to begin with, best service, personalized service, and what really stands out on any of our ships is the crew. And the crew makes the difference in the guest experience, that having a great dining experience.
Well, you're absolutely right. The crew is amazing. They know your name. They serve you with great efficiency and also friendliness. And it's been a pleasure to be on board again with you. And it's been a pleasure to be on board with you again, Peter. It's been another great experience on Windstar. And we've been talking about this, lengthening of the ship for a while. And now here we are.
It's nice meeting you again, James.
Absolutely. So I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.